Hello, honorable members of the clan. So, welcome to my YouTube channel. Guys, I'm not going to be too long with this one because I just had a thought. I am having some interesting commentary coming from outside of my YouTube channel because some of y'all know my Instagram handle, which is it's actually Clantis_Dumaguta, all small letters on Instagram. If you go there, I act a little crazy. I'm more like myself type of situation, in case you are wondering. You can go there if you want to. But I'm getting your 30%ers. They're quite interesting. I always say, very interesting bunch of people. And for some reason, they gravitate towards me. I don't know why. Because I'm extremely critical of them. I'm critical of the education system that they received from NG Mutsecha. And I'm thinking now, with everything that I've heard, and number one, I want to agree with Gogo Obrimashikli that just because you heard it from him, it's not something for you and I to just take it from him, because he's a lonely man that was speaking his own mind, his own critical thinking, and also the way things make sense in his head. So we shouldn't take that and run with it. We should also apply our own minds in understanding what he is saying. And if you have the capability or the resources to dig a little deeper in what he was saying, then you should go ahead and do that. But of course, the people that's supposed to help us with this is the media. And since the media could also be compromised in this situation, I guess it's just going to be Aubrey's mouth all of this came out from, like he said, she said type of situation, and it will just be forgotten about. But I was thinking about the education system. I mean, he did mention that not on the deep state side, but more on the deep establishment side, that academia will be part of the narrative that the deep state will want to push in society. And part of that, from when you look at the education system in South Africa, it's not producing critical thinkers. And I've said this many times, and some people disagree. I guess that's why they disagree, because they're in my DMs right now attacking me and saying all kinds of things that I'm like, but you're proving my point though. I don't know if you realize. Everything that you're saying to me is, number one, shallow. Number two, there is no level or effort of saying, you know what, let's have a debate on this one, you and I, regarding the education system that I got. No, I'm not hearing that. Instead, it's insults upon insults, and all because of the fact that, the elastic is not stretching. It's just not stretching at all. And the thought is not beyond the nose either. And I'm not saying this to insult. I am saying this as how I see it and how I perceive when I am coming across these people. This reminded me of a time where I was it was just young people from all over the world. They were presenting stuff. I'm not going to say where. It was a company that I used to work for, had these. It was part of this global young people's event. And almost every country participated in demonstrating their understanding of things. And I still remember the question was about globalization. What is globalization, and how can globalization be used in a positive way that contributes to world peace? Every country responded except for South Africa. When South Africans were eventually pointed like, you haven't said anything, I shrugged. I was like, dear goodness gracious me, please. And it was exactly what I thought. Because we gotten people, or a school that was gotten, they grade 4 class, lack comprehension in what they are reading. Now, let's not even go as far as reading. I mean, understanding. But reading itself, they couldn't read. They couldn't understand what they were reading. And all of this is watered down because, if now I am thinking about it, it was all a plan to create nothing but voting cows for the governing party, the ANC, to keep it in power so that all these things that Ukoko had discussed about stay in place. They get to advance, but the people of South Africa decline when it comes to advancement. Only a few people will break through the system and then make something of themselves. But how long will they stay clean? Because he mentioned that some of these people are small businesses. And I'm just thinking, if your small business is starting to show some kind of traction in a certain industry, either you get wiped out. If you don't get wiped out, you have to join them, type of situation. So you can tell that, we always thought that it has to do with race. Yeah, the race, which now it opened a can of worms about so many things. And the wealthy people in South Africa themselves, whether black or white, Indian colored, what do you know? What are you involved in? And how legit have you been making your money as well? I'm sorry, these questions have to be asked. At this point, I trust nobody. I will see you wearing your expensive suit and I'll ask myself, when you swallow your food, do you swallow it with the saliva that assists you, with the amylase that assists to break down the food, or it is glassy in there because you know that it is not legit? That's the question that I'm asking myself. But the education system, clearly, it is driving a certain control of the population. Do not make sure that the population are critical thinkers. Let them be shallow. Let them be easily influenced. That is why you are seeing some of other political parties that are mushrooming. And when you are listening closer and you are thinking, and you support that? You really supporting that? I don't blame you. And now I understand. I now understand that you were part of this entire plan so that you never think critically, that you never ask questions, that you are easily pulled by the nose when they say you are a sheep, basically. That's what you are being molded into, a sheep. Not a human being with independent mind, independent thinking. Because the education system did not teach you that. And it's not teaching our children that. Now that we kind of at least understand, what are we going to do as parents? Now, this brings me to my second point, which is worrisome to me. Every system, I believe, has a self-destruction feature. Now that Nkatam Kwanaze exposed this, and now South Africans may demand to bring back their country into their own control. And all these people or agencies that have been mentioned that are actually in control of South Africa say, we are not going to let go of this country. We've been benefiting, and you are going to be taking away our bread as well as the bread of our children. So who holds the self-destruction button? Definitely not Ramaphosa. Definitely nobody that is a South African. That is, if we are indeed infiltrated. That self-destruction button is the one that I fear the most, because they can just press it and South Africa becomes yet another failed African country. That's how it's going to be presented, like on BBC, CNN, and Al Jazeera, and all the other international news channels. And that button, does it also come with regime change? Does it also come with a Colombian design type of change? Those are the questions that I'm asking myself, and I'm getting a little bit more and more concerned for us as South Africans. When we try to ask back for our country from illegal foreigners, we get pushback. They use our courts. They even use our constitution against us. Now, who's holding that button? The self-destruction button. Like, well, as they walk out, keep imagining, I don't know if you watched the Waiting to Exhale. I think it was Angela Bassett's character when she walks away from the white car and then it explodes, and in slow motion she walks away as if no car exploding. I'm imagining that person doing the same thing. He just go poof and in slow motion walks away from South Africa while we burn. While we burn. I don't know, guys. I don't know. What do we do? Where to from here? Probably is the question. Right? And why is Ramaphosa not back? Today is Wednesday. I mean, a leader would have left everything they were doing wherever they were and come back home. They've got a delegation. Whoever they leave behind, especially Ronald Lamula, would have come back with the minutes and briefed the president after he has done some fix. Today is Wednesday, and on this day is the day he's supposed to be addressing us with the names of people whose heads need to roll. But he's not here. We haven't heard anything from the president. No sense of urgency. Now the question is, who held him back? Who said, wait, give the other people a chance to pack up and leave first? Because there's always a corridor, somehow, I believe, that is opened for corrupt people to escape from South Africa, especially when they are not South Africans. So who is this person they are waiting for to vacate before the president comes and address the nation? I'm sorry, again, I trust no one. I have to ask these questions. And you should be asking the same questions. What's delaying the president? So many days later, he has not addressed the nation. Nobody's held accountable yet. The National Police Commissioner says, I'm sorry, I can't talk about this at this point until the president has said something. Then you ask yourself, then what was the point of calling a press conference if you are not going to say something? And then also, he talked about 16 or 18,000 guns to be destroyed in Vandal Bay Park. And now I'm asking questions too. And I know he said they're not part of it, but can we trust you though, sir? How that none of those guns are part of the guns that blew up the whistleblowers? Who's going to escape responsibility from those guns that are going to be destroyed today? That's the question I was asking, because I did not understand. Is it to distract us, just like the correctional services tried to distract us with the raids that took place at Jose Mampuru prison early this morning, and they found a cell phone in the possession of Vusumuzi Kat Matlala? Again, I'm sorry, I don't trust y'all. I have to ask every move you guys have to make going on. We have to question it, unfortunately, until things have been cleaned out and we have our country back and our democracy back and the people of South Africa benefiting from its own nation. Until that happens, for now, I'm asking questions. Anybody that is responsible for this country, and I'm talking leadership, I'm questioning you, including political parties, by the way. We cannot see y'all running and saying things and you think we must not be suspicious of you. What do you know? What do you know? We've had some other political party leaders that were very active and very vocal. They got into government, mum. What did you find out? What were you briefed about? And why were you told to shut up? I'm sorry, again, I don't trust you at this point until I can have some sort of faith with explanations and accountability and heads rolling. That's when I would say, yeah. Now I think we can start building faith and trust in y'all. As for the police, I'm sorry. I don't even know why you exist at this point, honestly. You failed the country. Look at the crime rate. At least we know what the intelligence is. And y'all, wow. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts that I thought, hey, let me come here and voice them out. This is what I'm suspecting at this point. The president is not back. Why? What is he delaying? Who must leave so that you can start cleaning? But we know the next few weeks it's going to be about protecting people. A lot of people are going to be protected. And I think I'm changing my mind about the Commission of Inquiry. Y'all determine how it goes. What questions needs to be asked. Now, investigate, arrest, prosecute, and convict. That is what we're expecting. No protection for nobody. Anyways, guys, I don't know. You can comment down below. What do you want to see? Do you think there's a self-destruction feature with everything that's going on, and now the person who has the power to destroy us, what are they thinking, do you think? I would like to hear in the comment section. Please don't leave the video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.